Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Monday morning, and today is, I think, January the 22nd. Anyway, I had to make sure. Anyway, I hope you had a great weekend. I hope that you were. Just hope you had a time, a restful time, if possible. Hope that you were able to be with your family and enjoy some time there, and then hopefully you were able to worship, at the place of your choice yesterday, and even with the cold weather. But anyway, one thing I want to mention before I bring the devotion this morning is be in prayer. Probably a lot of you have heard, about the air evac helicopter that went down east of Hydro, and anyway, 3 lives were lost or passed, and anyway, just to be in prayer for those families, be in prayer for the first responders that were out there searching and then recovering the scene out there. But anyway, just a sad time. But anyway, this morning I want to bring a devotion entitled An Inside Look. Our culture today is extremely enamored with beauty. We as a society, we elevate attractive people in our culture, and we give them a lot of attention. If God has given you natural, good looks, that's a wonderful thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be sure that, you don't neglect what's on the inside. When God sent the prophet Samuel, to Bethlehem, Samuel, he knew that the next king of Israel was among Jesse's sons, because God had instructed him to go to Jesse's house to find the next king. And so, and when he saw Jesse's sons, Eliab in particular, he thought he knew which one it would be. But God told him in 1 Samuel 16, verse 7, he said, "Don't judge by his appearance or height, for I have rejected him. The Lord doesn't see things the way you see them. People judge by outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." God was saying that for him, motive and intent are everything. He was looking on the inside. Meanwhile, Samuel was missing it. And so finally Samuel said the following to Jesse in verse 11. He said, "Are these all the sons you have?" And then continuing on in verse 11, it says, they're still the youngest," Jesse replied, "but he's out in the fields watching the sheep and goats." In other words, we have one other kid. He's a shepherd. I don't know if you want to talk to him. I think it's important to understand, that in ancient Israel, a shepherd was not a great position in life. I mean, we have romanticized the idea of, shepherds because, they were watching their flocks on the night, and that the angels came, to them and announced the birth of Jesus. But, a shepherd in those days was pretty low on the socioeconomic, ladder. In fact, the testimony of a shepherd wasn't even allowed in the court of law. That's pretty low. But Jesse was basically saying, he's just a shepherd, so what? But Samuel, he wanted to see him. And in walked David, probably smelling like sheep, and God said, that's the one. He's the one. Anoint him. And then Samuel, he took out his flask of oil and he anointed David with it. And no doubt David's brothers were probably watching this and probably thinking, that Samuel had lost his mind. I mean, there's no way this could be true. As for his father, Jesse, it really doesn't appear that he had a whole lot of love for David. When he told Samuel, well, there's still the youngest, he was speaking of him in a derogatory manner. And then David later wrote in one of the Psalms, in Psalm 27, verse 10, "Even my father and mother abandoned me. The Lord will hold me close." Now, those who are rejected by their parents, they often become beloved of God. Now, maybe you've come from a home where, maybe you were, unappreciated by your parents. Maybe they never expressed their love, toward you, and, maybe even told you that they were proud of you. Or maybe they showered their affection, on an older or younger sister and forgot about you. And that has always hurt you through life. Now, I was very fortunate. I grew up in a home, we went to church, and, it was a godly home for the most part. And, they treated me well. I can't complain about that. But, there came a time when they both, passed on. And, at that point, I became, somewhat of an orphan in a sense, or felt like it with them both gone. But, God is my Heavenly Father, and He treats me well. And so anyway, but He loves us all well. And so remember that fact, even if you didn't have a good home situation, you've got God in your life, and that's what counts. And if you don't, I pray that you'd come to know Him, and you would experience that love. But anyway, hope that encourages you here on this Monday morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.